The angels brought me a deep and essential message today, intended for your heart and your understanding. A truth that hangs in the air, permeating your thoughts and the energy around you, concerns the one who occupies a special space in your life, your newest partner. There is something immensely significant happening within his innermost self, a current of emotions and reflections that the angels want you to notice right now. The absence he feels of you is not a passing murmur, not a vague memory that fades with time, but rather a constant presence, a potent echo that resonates in every fiber of his being, becoming a weight almost unbearable to carry. He, who perhaps tried to convince himself that life would follow its course without major changes, that distance would bring forgetfulness, or that the uniqueness of your connection could be easily replaced, now finds himself entangled in a complex tapestry of memories, sensations, and questions. This tapestry is so vivid, so real, that he cannot unravel it or escape from it. The angels show me with crystal clarity that, despite any physical distance, your energy and his remain intertwined in a way that defies logic and transcends the visible. No matter where he is, who he is with, or which paths he chooses to walk, there is a subtle yet undeniable force that pulls him back to your essence, to the light you radiate. But why, then, does he not verbalize this? What stands between what he feels and his ability to take the decisive step in your direction? The angels make known that this partner has been fighting an internal battle. It is a struggle against what the heart insists on feeling, a resistance that may have roots in old fears, in the pride that often becomes an impenetrable barrier, or perhaps in a misunderstanding of the depth and uniqueness of the bond that unites you. He may have tried to rationalize, to find logical explanations for missing you, but it is in the silence of the night, when defenses are down and the soul speaks louder, that the truth imposes itself, unquestionable. He misses you in a way he has never experienced before, a longing that stands out from all others, for it is the lack of something essential and unrecoverable. This longing is not restricted to specific moments you shared, to laughter or trivial conversations. It encompasses your integral presence in his life, the way you enveloped him, the stability you provided, the worldview you shared, and the perspective you offered. There is a quality in you, dear soul, that brought a particular radiance to his life, a comfort that soothed the soul, and a sense of security he has found in no one else. The way you understood him, how your eyes met, and you seemed to read his soul without the need for a single word, the way you listened to and embraced his vulnerabilities. These nuances, which perhaps in the past went unnoticed or were underestimated, now become objects of deep nostalgia, an absence that echoes in every part of his being, becoming a pang he cannot ignore. The angels show me something even more touching. He has been consumed by doubt, by the agonizing uncertainty of having lost the opportunity to have you back. This question, hammering incessantly in his mind, has turned into a heavy burden for his soul, a ceaseless restlessness that steals his peace and serenity. Time, which many see as a healer, has for him only intensified the absence, for the feeling of emptiness has not diminished. On the contrary, it has grown with each day. He realizes that the more he tries to push away the thought of you, the more he strives to forget, the more present you become, the stronger your image and essence impose themselves on his internal reality. The realization that life without your presence is less vibrant, less meaningful, has solidified in his consciousness. The angels make known that he is revisiting every interaction, every glance exchanged, every word spoken, questioning his own reactions and decisions. There is a deep self-reflection happening, where he begins to compare the connections he attempted to establish with the depth of what you both had. And inevitably, he concludes that your connection is singular, unlike anything he has ever experienced. This finding, although initially it may bring a dose of regret, is also the first step towards a transformative awakening. He is on the threshold of an understanding that can completely reorganize his priorities and his perspective on love and companionship. The universe, through the angels, is orchestrating a series of events and sensations so that this truth comes to the surface in its fullness. He can no longer ignore the signs, the feelings that invade him, and the realization that full happiness has become elusive without your presence. There is a growing clarity in his soul, which propels him to seek answers, to fill this void. The angels murmur to me that he is maturing through this longing, learning about the importance of valuing what is genuine and irreplaceable. This is the essence of what he is experiencing right now. It is a recognition of your intrinsic value and the indelible mark you left on his life. Before continuing the message, write this mantra in the comments. I deserve relationships based on trust and harmony. Now, continuing the message. The angels say that this partner has been frantically searching for distractions, trying to occupy his mind and time with a myriad of activities and interactions, all to escape this whirlwind of feelings that consumes him. He may have dived into work, into new hobbies, or even superficial relationships in the hope that the exterior could fill the interior void. But the undeniable truth, which the angels insist on showing, is that the more he tries to flee or deny what he feels, the stronger and more uncontrollable the longing becomes, growing in intensity to a point where it becomes almost impossible to ignore. And now, he is starting to understand, unequivocally, that it is imperative to face this reality. However challenging it may seem, he may not have vocalized these feelings yet, perhaps out of fear, uncertainty, or not knowing how to express the depth of his rediscovery. The words may be stuck in his throat. The inability to articulate what goes on in his heart is a barrier preventing him from acting. However, his soul is already aware, has already become fully conscious that you were, and continue to be, someone absolutely irreplaceable in his life. There is no other person who awakens in him the same sensations, who makes him feel the same connection, the same security, the same unconditional love you provided. And this revelation scares him deeply, for in confronting this truth, he begins to perceive that perhaps he made a mistake of significant proportions by allowing you to drift away. What the angels wish you to know, dear soul, is that this longing is not in vain. It does not exist merely to torment this partner, or to plant seeds of doubt in your own heart. On the contrary, it possesses a greater purpose, a deeper and more transformative meaning. The angels show me that this feeling is acting as a catalyst, opening this partner's eyes to something that, perhaps in the past, he refused to see or acknowledge, the immeasurable value you have in his life. It is a process of awakening, a reevaluation of priorities and feelings that leads him to a new level of understanding about the essence of love. Now, the central question, which the angels bring with a subtle urgency, is, what will this partner do with this overwhelming feeling? Will he have the genuine courage to face what he truly feels at his core, to overcome the barriers of pride and fear that he himself built? Will he manage, ultimately, to put pride aside and take the initiative to seek you out, to attempt a rapprochement? Or will he remain imprisoned in this cycle of persistent longing and growing regret, unable to break the chains that bind him? There is something very important you need to know, and the angels are ready to make known the next stage. The angels show me that, at this exact moment, an intense and powerful internal conflict is unfolding in his heart. The desire to be close to you, to reestablish the connection, to feel your presence again, grows in intensity with each passing day. However, there still exists a layer of fear that paralyzes him, a deep dread that prevents him from acting. This fear could be of rejection, of the possibility that it is already too late to fix things, or the anguish that you may have moved on with your life, finding peace and happiness on other paths. It is precisely this fear that has kept this partner in silence, even when his soul screams for you, yearns for your presence and your voice. But this situation, dear soul, cannot remain unchanged for an indefinite time. Something grand and transformative is about to change the course of events. The angels say that this partner is approaching a decisive moment in his life, a turning point where he will be compelled to face, inescapably, what he truly feels, and, consequently, to take a concrete and meaningful attitude. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is orchestrating and creating the perfect circumstances so that this undeniable truth comes to the surface, so that he ultimately understands, with absolute clarity, that fleeing from this deep feeling and this singular connection is no longer a viable option. This understanding will propel him towards action. Can you feel this energy of change in the air around you? Can you perceive this transformative force approaching with every breath, with every beat of your heart? Because the angels are telling me, with impressive clarity, that something is about to happen, something that will change the current scenario. This longing that this partner feels for you is not a simple whim of fate, nor a passing daydream. It is, in truth, a powerful and irresistible call for his awakening, so that he ultimately comprehends the vital importance and depth of this connection you share. And this call, dear soul, is becoming increasingly stronger, more urgent, impossible to be ignored. Prepare yourself, for the universe is acting. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments 1111 to claim the truth the angels bring to you. The angels also ask, with all affection and subtlety, that if this message touched your heart and resonated with your truth, you consider supporting this work of light through the Super Thanks button. This support, given with generosity and love, is what allows us to continue bringing inspiring messages of hope to everyone who needs them. Know that your contribution is a blessing. Now, continuing the message, the absence he feels is no longer just a temporary discomfort, but something that is rapidly transforming into an almost uncontrollable necessity, a condition for his own peace. There is a growing restlessness in his chest, a feeling of emptiness that he can no longer disguise, try as he might. The angels show me that, whilst this partner attempts to maintain a facade of normality in his day-to-day life, his mind and heart are completely absorbed elsewhere. And this place, dear soul, is undeniably by your side, in the constancy of your presence, in the calm you radiated. He is reliving every moment with overwhelming intensity, and the angels want you to be aware of this. He has lived days of intense reflection, moments in which memories of the two of you come to the surface as if they were scenes from an old movie, playing repeatedly in his head. They are vivid flashes of moments you shared, words spoken and unspoken, gestures that previously might have been considered trivial, but which now carry immense weight in his effective memory. This partner misses you in a way that transcends logic and reason, for it is not just about your physical presence, but your unique energy, the incomparable way you made him feel understood, valued, and loved. There is something very important the angels want you to know about what is to come. The angels say that this partner never expected the longing to reach such a deep and persistent level. At the start of the separation, he believed everything would resolve itself with time. That distance would naturally dissipate the feelings and memories that united you. He perhaps thought that life would take him on other paths, and that you would become just a distant memory. But now, he realizes, with painful clarity, that time has erased absolutely nothing. On the contrary, every day that has passed has only made every detail of your presence, every trait of your personality, every shared moment become even sharper and more present in his mind. And this finding has stirred him deeply, in a way he never imagined. This partner has already tried, in various ways, to move on. The angels show me that he sought countless distractions, tried to occupy his mind and heart with other activities, perhaps even with other people. In the vain hope of filling the void, he threw himself into new relationships, or dedicated himself to new projects, all to create a barrier between him and the reality of your absence. But nothing, absolutely nothing, truly worked. No experience managed to replace the depth of what he feels for you. No conversation brought the same comfort, no touch awakened the same connection, the same spark you had. And it is at this crucial point that this partner begins to perceive an irrefutable and inescapable truth. There is not, and never will be, anyone like you. This finding, dear soul, has been a difficult and at times painful process for him. He sees himself before a complex and agonizing dilemma: to accept fully what he feels and actively seek a rapprochement, facing all the fears and uncertainties that implies, or to continue fleeing from that which has already become impossible to ignore, prolonging his own anguish. The angels say there is a very great fear rooted in his heart, a deep dread that it may already be too late, that you may no longer be willing to listen to what he has to say, that time may have closed the doors to a possible fresh start. And it is this paralyzing fear that has made him hesitate, even when the will to look for you, to hear your voice and feel your presence again, screams inside him with growing intensity. The message from the angels has a clear and direct purpose for you. The angels show me that, in the recent past, this partner came extremely close to making contact. He went so far as to pick up the phone, to type a few words in a message, to mentally rehearse dialogues, to imagine what your voice and reaction would be like. He approached the limit of action, feeling the urgency to communicate. But something, at the last instant, stopped him. The fear of the unknown, the dread of what he might hear in response, the uncertainty of your reaction. All of this paralyzed him completely, and this caused him to retreat, even knowing, in his innermost self, that silence would only prolong his own anguish and yours. Dear soul, the angels ask you to understand something of extreme importance. This partner misses you in a visceral way, but has not yet managed to gather the necessary courage to face this truth in its totality and to act in accordance with it. He is dealing with a whirlwind of contradictory emotions, trying desperately to understand how something that seemed resolved or ended still has so much strength and power inside him. And the answer, which the angels make known, is simple and profound, because the bond between the two of you never truly broke. It is a connection that transcends matter, and which keeps itself alive, regardless of external circumstances. What I'm about to uncover for you next could change everything. This connection that unites you is something that goes beyond the physical plane and superficial understanding. It is something the angels describe as a golden thread, luminous and indestructible, that unites two souls, an energetic tie that, regardless of distance or the vicissitudes of life, continues to exist and pulse with vitality. And the more this partner tries to resist this truth, the more he tries to ignore or repress this bond, the stronger becomes the undeniable sensation that something fundamental inside him is incomplete and empty without your presence. It is an essential part of him that is absent. The angels say that this partner is on the verge of a crucial decision, a point of no return that will define the next steps of his life, and consequently, of yours. The coming days and weeks will be decisive, as he can no longer carry this emotional weight alone. The need to express himself, to remove this lump from his throat, to say everything that has been kept and stifled for too long, is growing within him with each passing moment. And very soon, he will be propelled by an internal and external force to act, to take an initiative that can no longer be postponed. But there is a crucial question the angels want you to ask yourself now. In the silence of your heart, are you truly prepared to hear what this partner has to say when he eventually finds the courage to express himself? Think well, dear soul, for this answer is essential for what is to come. Now, before continuing the message, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity to subscribe. This helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Continuing the message. The angels continue guiding this message so that you comprehend the nuances and depths of what is truly happening in this partner's heart. There is something of immense importance that needs to be made known today. He can no longer bear this overwhelming longing, and something very strong inside him is about to overflow. This sensation of absence, which at first seemed to be merely a bearable discomfort, has transformed into an unsustainable burden, an emotional load that oppresses him. He misses you in such an intense and particular way that he has never felt for any other person in his entire life, and this is a truth he can no longer deny. The angels show me that this partner has tried, with all his might, to act as if he were in total control of the situation, as if he could simply move on with his life without looking back, as if the past could not reach him. However, the reality is that there is a true emotional storm underway inside him. When he finds himself alone, far from the buzz of the world and distractions, his mind travels inevitably to the past, incessantly reliving the precious moments you lived together. Each memory now possesses a different flavor, a renewed intensity. If before he perhaps viewed everything with a certain emotional distance, now he feels every detail, every nuance with a depth that becomes physical, a subtle pain that accompanies him. He recalls with impressive clarity your voice, the unique way you smiled, the special sparkle that appeared in your eyes when you spoke about something you loved or that impassioned you. Small gestures, which in another time might have seemed trivial or insignificant, now reveal themselves as precious treasures, loaded with meaning and emotion. The angels say that this partner has begun to perceive, with a lucidity previously non-existent, that no one else possesses this singular energy, this unmistakable essence that only you have. And it is exactly this finding, this perception of your uniqueness, that is bringing a deep and persistent restlessness to his heart, which he can no longer disguise or silence. There is something even deeper happening. What this partner does not yet comprehend in its totality is that the longing he feels is not merely a reflection of good moments you shared, but rather a clear and unequivocal sign that there is something much greater and deeper connecting the two of you. This connection was not woven merely by chance, nor is it something that can be easily replaced by any other person, try as he might. He may even strive to convince himself that he will get over it, that all this will pass with time, that forgetfulness will come. However, the angels show me that what exists between you is not an ephemeral feeling that disappears, because it is a soul link, a spiritual tie that transcends the barriers of time and space, and which persists in its fullness. He may have tried to flee from this inner truth, distracting himself with other people or diving into new routines and habits. But none of this, absolutely nothing, managed to erase the undeniable truth that resides in his heart. The universe, through the angels, is sending constant and persistent signals so that he sees, clearly and without filters, what he truly feels and what truly matters. These signals can materialize in various subtle and impacting ways. A song that plays suddenly on the radio or in his playlist, instantly evoking your image. A scent in the air that brings back a vivid and powerful memory, or even intense and recurring dreams, in which you appear with surprising clarity, leaving him thoughtful and restless upon waking. And the angels show me that he has dreamt a lot about you. They are not random or meaningless dreams, but rather vivid visions, full of meaning, messages from his subconscious and the spiritual plane. Often, he wakes up smelling your familiar scent, hearing your distinctive voice, or with the palpable sensation that you were truly together, reliving moments or creating new ones. These dreams leave him confused, for they are so real and so immersed in emotion that, for a brief moment, he believes everything can still be lived, that the distance is merely an illusion. But when he wakes to the harsh reality, he perceives that you are not physically there, and this finding is like a shock, a void that becomes even harder to ignore and to bear. The angels want you to know, dear soul, that these dreams are not just the fruit of chance or imagination. They are, in truth, a powerful and direct form of spiritual communication, an urgent call from the universe for this partner to understand that your presence, your essence, cannot be erased, forgotten, or replaced. His heart is trying, in every possible way, to send him clear and unequivocal messages, even if his conscious mind tries to resist, rationalize, or repress these feelings. The angels are working so that this truth reaches him in every way. And there is something even stronger and more impressive that the angels are uncovering now. Information that will leave you shocked. He feels your energy, even at a distance, in an almost physical way. Often when he is distracted or absorbed in his tasks, he may feel sudden shivers on his skin, a strange and unusual sensation, as if you were there, right close to him, present in his energy field. And the truth is that, in a certain way, you are. The bond between you is so intense, so deep, that it transcends the need for physical presence. This partner can feel your vibration, your vital force, your aura, even when you are not communicating, even when there is no visual or verbal contact. This perception is a testimony to the strength of your connection. Now, what the angels want you to comprehend is that this partner is about to make a life decision, a decision he has been putting off for a long time. He can no longer carry the weight of this longing alone, can no longer ignore the call of his soul. Something needs to change, and this change is imminent. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is moving all energies and orchestrating all circumstances so that very soon a rapprochement between you happens, a reunion that could redefine the course of the relationship. The angels say that the right moment is being carefully prepared and aligned by the celestial forces. It may not be today or tomorrow, but this partner is getting closer and closer to yielding to the truth that has always been there, evident in his heart. The oppressive weight of longing is transforming his initial fear into growing courage, his doubt into a pressing and unavoidable necessity. He is preparing for a significant action, and you must be prepared to receive it. And now, I ask you, dear soul, with all the sincerity of your being, if this partner knocked on your door tomorrow, with an open heart and a vulnerable soul, what would you say to him? Think well, with the calm and wisdom that are peculiar to you, for what is to come could change everything you know about your relationship and about your future. Your inner answer will be a guide for the angels and for the universe. The angels are sending you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 7. Write in the comments, "I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 7 and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I like and love very much." If this message touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light to other people who need it. The absence that previously seemed a bearable burden, a temporary condition he could overcome, has now transformed into an insufferable load, a weight that oppresses and consumes him day after day. It is a constant sensation of emptiness, a lack of something essential that he can no longer rationalize or ignore. The angels show me that this partner feels trapped in an internal dilemma that plagues him. Part of him desperately yearns to seek you out, to hear your voice again, to feel your comforting presence once more, to reestablish the connection you had. However, something deep inside him still hesitates, still prevents him from taking the decisive step. This barrier could be wounded pride, the paralyzing fear of rejection, or even a deep insecurity about how you would react to an eventual rapprochement, considering the time and distance. But, at the bottom of his soul, he knows, with a clarity that torments him, that he needs to act. Because the longing, this powerful and persistent force, is no longer something that can simply be swept under the carpet or ignored. There is a crucial detail the angels are uncovering now, and which he is not aware that you might know. He has been observing you more than you imagine, in an almost invisible but constant way. Whether through social media, where he discreetly searches for signs of your life, or through mutual friends, seeking information about your well-being, or simply feeling your energy from a distance, this partner tries to stay connected in some way, however tenuous that connection may seem. He yearns to know how you are, if you miss him in the same intense way he misses you. This distant observation is silent proof of the depth of his feelings, and this, dear soul, torments him deeply, because the real possibility that you have moved on with your life, that you have found peace and happiness without looking back, leaves him in a state of constant restlessness. The angels show that this partner asks himself incessantly, with an anguish he tries to hide, "Do I still have a space in her heart? Is there still a place for me in her life?" This doubt is a weight on his soul, a question he cannot silence. Before we continue, the angels ask you to do an exercise of liberation. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you would like to forgive. Visualize each of them. Send love and say, "I forgive you and release you. May peace be with you." Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Now, continuing the message. What is happening at this exact moment in this partner's heart is a true and intense emotional battle. For a long period, he avoided confronting his deepest feelings, preferring to distract himself with trivialities or sweep everything he felt for you under the carpet. He created barriers, defenses, in an attempt to protect himself from the intensity of this emotion. But the angels show me that the universe, in its wisdom, is forcing this partner to face the naked and raw truth of his feelings, to confront what resides in his innermost self without excuses or diversions. And this truth is simple, yet powerful. He does not want to live without you anymore. This perception has the power to tear down all his resistances, all his defenses. He may have tried in various ways to ignore this unique connection you share, but all his attempts to move on with life, to find a path without you, failed miserably. No other person, however much he searched, managed to fill the void you left in his life, because what you had was singular. It was something he only found with you, and now he comprehends this like never before, with a clarity that frightens and attracts him at the same time. The angels show me that this partner is getting closer and closer to taking a concrete attitude, to taking a significant step. He has felt sudden and uncontrollable impulses to send you a message, to look for you in some way, to attempt an approach. However, something, at the last instant, always holds him back, prevents him from acting. What he fears most, in fact, is not the conversation itself, not the words that will be exchanged, but what that conversation could mean for the future of both. Because, at the bottom of his soul, he knows that if you open the door of your heart, everything could change drastically and irrevocably, and this change scares him and fascinates him. And this change, dear soul, scares him deeply, because it would require him to abandon old patterns of behavior, tear down the walls he built around his heart, and principally admit, to you and to himself, that he made mistakes in the past. But the angels say that he no longer has an option. The universe is propelling him. His heart is clamoring for you with growing intensity, and sooner or later, he will be compelled to take this step, to expose himself, to seek the truth. Now, the angels ask you to ask yourself a deep and sincere question. If this partner returns with an open heart and seeking a new chance, will you be truly ready to forgive? Think about this with calm and wisdom. To forgive, dear soul, does not necessarily mean accepting anything or forgetting what happened. To forgive means, above all, releasing the weight of the past, freeing yourself from hurt and anger, so that regardless of the decision you make regarding him, your own heart is at peace, light, and free to move on. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. The angels show that, for this rapprochement to happen in the most beneficial and healing way, the energy of forgiveness needs to be present in your heart, even if it is an initial forgiveness for yourself. What has passed cannot be changed or undone, but the future can still be written in a new way, with love, with truth, with understanding, and with the possibility of a new beginning. If that is your desire, and it is exactly this that this partner is starting to understand, with every fiber of his being, he is learning, in the hardest and most painful way, that opportunities for true love cannot be wasted, that genuine and deep love does not appear twice in the same way, with the same intensity and the same magic. He is learning the value of what he had. Dear soul, the angels say that this story of yours has not yet reached its final point. There is an outcome being written at this exact moment, a new part that is opening, and you have an absolutely essential and leading role in this. Your energy, your clarity, and your capacity to forgive will be determinants for the course of events. Now, close your eyes for an instant, breathe deeply, and visualize this partner in front of you, with all his vulnerability and desire to draw closer again. What is the first emotion that arises spontaneously in your heart upon imagining him there? This initial feeling, dear soul, will bring undeniable clarity about what you truly desire for your future. This perception will be a guide for your path. The answer you find in your innermost self will be essential, a beacon for the next steps that the universe and the angels are preparing for you, in sync with your deepest desire. Embrace this truth. There is something inside him that has become absolutely impossible to silence, an inner voice that clamors for you. The longing he feels has grown to such a point that it now surpasses any rational barrier he may have tried to impose on himself. It is no longer a passing sensation. It is a force that moves him and unsettles him. The angels show me that, in recent days, this partner has felt an anguish he cannot even explain or comprehend fully. He feels restless, as if he were always waiting for something, as if there were a deep gap inside him that nothing seems capable of filling. He tries desperately to find answers, tries to understand why this feeling of absence does not pass, why it does not diminish. But the truth is that the answer already resides in his own heart, clear and irrefutable. He misses you in a way that no other love, no other experience or relationship can replace. You are irreplaceable to him. The angels say that this partner has lived moments of deep and intense reflection. He revisits past conversations in his mind, relives the precious moments shared, and asks himself repeatedly how everything reached this point of separation and longing. There is a feeling of growing regret in his soul, a belated but sincere recognition that he could have acted differently, that he should have shown more, that he should have spoken more openly, that he should have allowed himself to feel more fully and surrender to the connection you had. This regret is a catalyst for change, and there is a very important detail the angels want you to know. He feels that he lost you. This thought, this perception of loss, haunts him day and night, because whilst before he naively believed he could have control of the situation, that he could manage the distance or even the separation, now he perceives, with a clarity that scares him, that things are no longer in his hands, that the dynamic has changed, and that he lost mastery. And this lack of control over the destiny of the relationship is something that torments him deeply, taking away his peace and sleep. He begins to perceive, with unexpected lucidity, that you have changed, dear soul, that you are no longer the same person who, perhaps, one day waited passively for him. He feels your transformation, your evolution, your new stance towards life. And, in a certain way, this perception scares him even more, because it means it may be too late to recover what was lost, to fix the mistakes of the past. Your evolution is a mirror for the transformation he needs to undergo. The angels indicate that this partner has observed your energy from afar, discreetly but attentively. He feels that something inside you has transformed deeply, that a new light radiates from your being. Perhaps you have started to prioritize yourself more, to value yourself in a way you didn't before, to focus on your own well-being and personal growth. And this notable change in your energy and in your stance is impacting this partner in a deep and transformative way, making him question his own choices and the path he himself walked. Before we continue, the angels ask you to breathe deeply and connect with this powerful truth. What is truly yours, that which is genuinely yours by right and by destiny, is never completely lost. It only transforms, realigns, awaits the right moment. Now, continuing the message, the angels show me that this partner is getting closer and closer to taking a concrete and decisive attitude. It is as if he were being pushed by an invisible and uncontrollable force of the universe to ultimately face that which he tried to avoid for so long, to deal with the truth of his feelings. But there is a significant internal obstacle that still needs to be overcome. The fear that accompanies him. He has a deep fear that you have, in fact, moved on, that there is no longer space for him in your life. He fears that your response to an eventual rapprochement will not be the one he expects or yearns for. And above all, he fears that all this time of separation has created an insurmountable distance between you, a barrier that can no longer be broken. This fear, although intense, is losing ground to the need to act. And the angels say something even stronger and more impacting. This partner is about to put everything to the test, to risk himself in a final attempt to reconnect with you. He is reaching his limit and cannot live in uncertainty any longer. He knows in his innermost self that he can no longer live in this agonizing doubt, in this endless impasse between the burning desire to be close to you and the fear that prevents him from trying. He feels he needs to know, once and for all, if there is still a possible path for you both, if the flame of connection still pulses, and if it can be reignited. He needs this clarity to be able to move on, whether with you or on a new path, but without the weight of what if. And when this crucial moment arrives, dear soul, you need to be fully prepared, with your heart open and your intuition sharpened. The angels ask you to reflect deeply. What do you really want for your future with him or without him? What are the most sincere desires of your heart at this moment of your life? Because this answer, which will come from the deepest part of your being, will be the master key for everything that is to come. For the next steps, the universe is aligning on your path. Trust in your inner wisdom. It will guide you. The longing that torments and consumes him can no longer be ignored, and something inside him is clamoring for a resolution, for an end to this uncertainty. He is starting to comprehend, unequivocally, that fleeing from this deep feeling and your absence will not make it disappear. On the contrary, with each passing day, the lack of your presence becomes a greater weight, a silent pain he can no longer carry alone. The angels make known that this partner has felt lost and disoriented. There is deep confusion inside him that prevents him from seeing clearly which path he should follow, which attitude to take. He tries to occupy his mind, tries to convince himself that everything will be fine if he just ignores the lack he feels. But this illusion, this self-deception, does not last long. The universe, through the angels, has been sending constant signals, messages that are subtle and intense at the same time, forcing him, gently but firmly, to confront this undeniable truth. What he feels for you has not ended. Your connection is still alive and pulsing, and this realization is not happening lightly or peacefully. This partner is feeling a whirlwind of contradictory emotions, a true inner chaos, and within this chaos, there is an intense struggle between the fear that paralyzes him and the burning desire to do something about it, to take an initiative that can change the course of things. The tension between these two feelings is almost unbearable. The angels show me that, in many moments, this partner has caught himself reliving scenes of the past with you, feeling your presence vividly, even without you being physically there. Small things from day-to-day life, Objects, music, specific places, everything seems to be impregnated with the energy of what you lived together. And this constant reminder, this resonance of the past in the present, is starting to pressure him intensely to make a decision. Before we continue, share this video with 2 dear people who are needing this message of hope and faith. Let's build together a chain of love and mutual support. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. Now, continuing the message. What the angels want you to grasp, dear soul, is that this partner can no longer flee from himself, can no longer hide from the truth of his feelings. Everything he tried to do to silence this inner voice, to stifle this deep feeling, failed miserably. There is no longer any way to hide what is screaming inside his heart, what clamors for your presence. And that is why he is about to approach, to break down the barriers he himself built. This is the next stage the angels are preparing. Yes, the angels show me that the moment of truth approaches, a moment he has delayed for too long. This partner feels he needs to look for you, needs to speak with you, needs to understand if there is still a genuine and sincere space for him in your life, if the door of your heart is still open. But at the same time, he carries a deep and legitimate dread. What if you no longer want to? What if your answer is a no? This fear has been his greatest and most powerful obstacle, because at the bottom of his soul, this partner does not want just a casual conversation. He yearns for clear confirmation that there is still a possible path for you, that the connection has not been lost irremediably. He wants to know if, after everything that happened and the time that passed, you can still meet again in a true, genuine, and meaningful way, building something new and solid. But there is something crucial the angels ask you to reflect on deeply in your innermost self. If this partner returned now, with all his vulnerabilities, and with an open heart, would you open your heart to him? Think well, with the wisdom you acquired throughout life, for your inner answer will determine the next steps the universe is preparing in sync with your free will. Because this conversation, dear soul, has the immense power to change everything you know about your relationship, about your future, and about your own journey. It is a turning point, a crossroads that can lead to a promising fresh start, or a peaceful, yet definitive closure. Be prepared for this possibility and for the strength it carries. The angels say that the intensity of this feeling that consumes him has reached a point where he can no longer hide it even from himself, try as he might. Even when he strives to follow his daily routine, something inside him screams your name, asking to be heard, clamoring for your attention and your presence. The uncontrollable desire to look for you, to re-establish contact, is growing inside him with each passing day, with an urgency he can no longer ignore. However, there is still something, a last barrier, that prevents him from taking this definitive step. The angels show me that this partner feels fear. It is not just fear of your reaction or possible rejection, but rather fear of what this rapprochement, this new stage, could truly mean for his life, for his choices, and for his future. Because he knows, in his innermost self, that once he makes this decision to look for you, there will be no way to go back, no way to pretend nothing happened. He feels that if he looks for you, he will need to be willing to open his heart truly, without masks, without games, without defenses. And this vulnerability, this exposure, is something that scares him deeply, for he is not accustomed to stripping himself emotionally in this way. The universe has placed significant situations in his path so that he ultimately faces his deepest and most authentic feelings. Unexpected conversations that bring your name up, places or songs that make him remember you so vividly it seems like a call, or even dreams that seem so real that upon waking, leave him disoriented and lost for a few moments, not knowing what is reality and what is a dream. All this is happening because this partner needs to understand, once and for all, that he cannot continue living in this doubt, in this emotional limbo. The angels say that this partner questions himself every day with palpable anguish. Do I still have time? Can I still recover what was lost between us? Does this chance still exist? And this doubt, dear soul, is weighing more on his soul than anything else, consuming his energy and his inner peace. It is a constant martyrdom. He perceives, with a clarity that shocks him, that in losing you, he also lost an essential part of himself, an important part of his own identity and happiness. And this absence, this lack of a part of him, has become a deep void that nothing else, however much he tries, manages to fill truly. Before we continue this message, if you haven't left your comment yet, right now. True love always finds the way. This act strengthens the energy of the connection the angels are bringing to you. Now, continuing the message, the angels show me that this partner is preparing, in an intense and deep way, for a conversation that will be decisive. He has already perceived, with undeniable clarity, that he needs answers, that he can no longer postpone this decision that torments him. And when this crucial moment arrives, it will be essential that you are connected with your own inner truth, with your most authentic feelings, without fears or hesitations. The angels ask you to ask yourself, with all the honesty of your heart, what does your heart truly desire for the future of you both, or for your own future? What are your deepest yearnings at this moment? Because when this partner appears, seeking a dialogue, there will be no more room for doubts or uncertainties, either for him or for you. This will be an opportunity to close a cycle or to start again in a true way. And this choice, dear soul, will be entirely yours, an act of free will that will shape your path. The angels say that this partner no longer has the strength to fight against what he feels, against the force of longing that consumes him. The absence has become too heavy a burden to carry, and every day away from you only increases this sensation of emptiness, of lack of purpose in his life. He perceives now, with a clarity that surprises him, that your presence was a true light in his life, a beacon of hope and joy, something he perhaps did not value at the right moment, but which now shows itself to be indispensable. He feels trapped in an internal conflict that tears him in half. Part of him simply wants to run to you, without thinking of the consequences, say everything he feels, ask for a new chance, beg for a new opportunity. But the other part, more cautious and fearful, is still taken by fear. Fear that you have moved on with your life. Fear that your answer is not what he expects and yearns for. Fear that everything he imagined as a possibility of a fresh start has become just an unreachable and illusory dream. The angels make known that this partner has rehearsed countless times in his mind what he could say to you. Every word, every phrase, every gesture. He imagines dialogues, thinks of ways to explain himself, to justify his past mistakes and his absences. He seeks ways to soften the situation, to apologize, to ask for forgiveness. But every attempt to plan this perfect conversation invariably ends at the same point: the paralyzing fear of your reaction, of your answer, of your look. And it is this fear, dear soul, that keeps him stagnant, preventing him from taking the step his soul so yearns for. But there is something fundamental the angels want you to comprehend. This partner can no longer avoid the inevitable, the meeting with the truth and with you. He is being propelled by forces greater than him. The universe is pressing, creating situations and synchronicities so that he no longer has any way to flee from this decision, so that he is forced to act. The recurring dreams, the vivid memories that assault him, the unexpected encounters with people or things that make him remember you intensely. All this is part of a greater plan, of a divine orchestration so that he ultimately faces the truth of his feelings and the need for your presence. Before we continue, write in the comments, "I release the past and I am ready for what the universe brings." This act is a way of opening your heart to the blessings arriving in your life, dear soul. Now, continuing the message. The angels show me that this partner is much closer to a decisive step than he imagines, or than he is willing to admit. The silence, which previously he used as a refuge, is becoming absolutely unbearable for him. The urgent need to hear your voice again, to feel your energy, your presence, grows within him uncontrollably, consuming him. He may be hesitant now, yes, but soon he will be taken by sudden courage, a strength he did not know he possessed. Something deep inside him will awaken, a clarity that will propel him, and this awakening, this new perception, will lead him directly to you, without further detours or hesitations. He will no longer be able to contain himself. The question the angels bring to you, dear soul, is this: when this crucial moment happens, will your heart be truly ready to listen to what he has to say, to welcome his words and his feelings? Because this conversation, this reunion, has the immense and transformative power to change everything in your life, to redefine the course of your path. Be prepared, with your heart and your mind open. The angels make known that this partner is on the verge of a decisive moment in his life, a turning point that will redefine his priorities. The longing that was previously just an occasional annoyance has now become an unbearable weight, a feeling that accompanies him in every thought, in every detail of his day, making it inescapable. He can no longer flee from this, can no longer ignore the overwhelming force of this emotion. Something inside him, in the deepest part of his soul, asks for an outcome, for a clear answer, for a definitive action that puts an end to this anguish. The angels show me that, in recent days, this partner has felt your energy in an even more intense and palpable way. It is as if you were, somehow, beside him, as if the presence of your soul were there, right close, not speaking softly, but reverberating the truth he already knows, but has not yet had the courage to admit completely to himself. He needs you. Your presence is vital for his fullness. This perception is a catalyst for his imminent action. He has asked himself repeatedly, with growing anguish, if there is still time, if there is still space for a meaningful conversation, for a genuine reunion, for a possible fresh start. This doubt accompanies him in all moments of silence, in every pause of his routine. When he lies down to sleep, you are the last thought that invades his mind, preventing him from finding peace. Upon waking, the sensation of emptiness and the absence of your presence are the first things he feels, confirming the depth of his lack. The angels say that this partner feels, with painful clarity, that he has already lost a lot of time, that he let things drag on for too long. He perceives that he waited excessively, that he clung to fear, pride, and the doubts that paralyzed him, and now fears, with real dread, that he has let pass the last chance to correct his mistakes, to reconquer what was lost. But at the same time, there is a powerful and resilient force inside him that begins to overcome these fears, propelling him towards action. The universe has sent increasingly clear and unequivocal signals so that he understands that the moment has arrived, ultimately, to act, to take an initiative. Perhaps he heard your name in a random conversation, seen by him as a significant synchronicity. Or perhaps he saw something that reminded him of you so strongly and intensely that it seemed a direct call, a warning from the universe. Or else, he felt an inexplicable tightness in his chest, butterflies in his stomach, an uncontrollable will to look for you, even without rationally understanding the exact reason for such urgency. These are the signs of the angels. Before we continue this message, write in the comments, "The right time of the universe materializes in my life." This act helps to align your energy with the truth the angels are bringing to you, dear soul, opening the doors for the manifestation to occur at the perfect moment. Now, continuing the message, this partner feels he is reaching a point of no return, where there is no longer any way to postpone what needs to be done. He needs to know, once and for all, if there is still a path for you, if there is still something to be lived between the two, if the connection he values so much can be restored. The uncertainty is consuming him, and he needs clarity to move on. And when this crucial moment arrives, dear soul, when he ultimately approaches and verbalizes what he feels, everything that was felt in silence, everything that was repressed and kept in his heart, everything that remained pending and unresolved between you, will come to the surface, intensely and honestly. He will open his heart. The angels ask that you be ready, with your heart open and your mind prepared to welcome this truth, whatever form it takes. Because this conversation, this reunion, will be a true watershed in your life and his, marking a before and an after. What will you do with this truth? The angels say that the moment this partner has delayed for so long, which he has avoided confronting, is now very close. He feels, with growing certainty, that he can no longer ignore the powerful call that echoes tirelessly inside his heart, demanding an answer. The doubts, fears, insecurities that prevented him from acting until now begin to lose their strength and power in the face of the uncontrollable and pressing need to connect with you again, to re-establish the bond. He may not have spoken yet, may not have vocalized his feelings, but his soul, in its deepest self, has already made a firm and irrevocable decision. The energy the angels show me is of someone who is about to move, to take a significant step that has the potential to completely change the course of his life and your relationship. And this change does not come only from the desire to ease the longing that consumes him, but from a deeper and more painful understanding. He should never have drifted away from you. This partner understood, with overwhelming clarity, that your absence did not bring the peace or tranquility he perhaps expected. On the contrary, it transformed his life into a complex tangle of memories, regrets, and unanswered questions, an emotional labyrinth from which he can no longer exit. He perceives now, with more sharpness than ever, that what he felt for you was not a passing feeling, was not something that could simply be replaced or forgotten with the passing of time. The link between you is real, intense, and undeniable, a soul bond that resists all adversities. The angels show me that, inside him, there is a genuine and sincere desire to redeem himself, to correct what was done, to explain everything that remained unexplained, to correct mistakes he recognizes having committed, to say what should have been said a long time ago, when the opportunity was there. But along with this burning desire to redeem himself comes the agonizing uncertainty. Do you still want to hear him? Is your heart still open to his words? He is afraid that upon trying to approach, he discovers that it is already too late, that time has closed the doors of your heart to him, afraid that your heart no longer has space for him, that pain and distance have erased any chance of a fresh start. This fear still makes him hesitate, but no longer to the point of preventing him from acting. The need for you has surpassed the fear. Before we close this message, if it touched your heart and resonated with your truth, write in the comments, "I accept what is mine by right." This act opens the doors for the energy of the universe to work in your favor, dear soul, manifesting what is yours by merit. Now, continuing the message, the angels want you to know that your energy, the strength of your intention and your heart, has a fundamental and decisive role in this moment that approaches. Your intuition, that wise voice that resides in your interior, already feels that something is about to happen, that a significant change is coming to your life. If your heart still holds feelings for him, if there still exists a deep desire for reunion and a new beginning, be prepared for this moment, with mind and heart open, because this person will appear. The angels are ensuring that this will happen in the perfect time of the universe. And when he arrives, dear soul, it will no longer be with doubts, with games, or with uncertainties. It will be with the truth of his heart, with the vulnerability of his soul. What will you do with this truth that will present itself before you? The choice will be yours, and the angels will be by your side, guiding you. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "True love always finds its home." Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.